edition of the Jännerrallye for 2026. A happy new year to all of you rally fans out there watching on this first ever English language live stream here for the Jännerrallye. My name is Peter McRae, and joining me in the booth this morning is Hollie McRae, and live on Twitch for the very first time as well, our very good friend from Austria, Kuru. It's wonderful to be here for this event, and it's all happening so far, Hollie. The first couple of stages, it's been all action and plenty of storylines. What's been going on down in the service park?
Absolutely, Pete. The first two stages of Jännerrallye have treated us very kindly so far. And as you say, we've just had our very first service. Kuru and I headed out to hear what the drivers had to say. But it must be said, before we even got to speak to any drivers, the fans at this event have been incredible. They have been out in numbers from last night, even so today, this morning in the service park. And when the drivers come back into the Frestad town centre, before they hit service, they need to pass through the Messehalle, which is our base for the rally. They drive into the building, they have a time control here, and this is where they did their road selection last night. It was filled with fans last night, soaking up the atmosphere, and even this morning as well. The number of fans that are out has been incredible. They sort of cheered on their favourites as they pulled into their service bays, and the teams got to work. The first job, of course, they've been knocking a lot of snow off of the underside of these cars. We've not got deep snow out there, but it's certainly quite compact, quite icy, and they're certainly getting rid of it from the bottom of the cars, from the steering arms, the sump guards, and of course tyres. It's been a big talking point this morning already. The order of the day is tackies off, tackies on. We're sticking with the tackies into the next couple stages.
Yeah, the tackies are, of course, the tyre that is almost unique to this event nowadays, actually. There's very, very few events that use this style of tyre. It's a 15-inch diameter wheel, so it looks kind of strange on a Rally 2 car, which is used to having big, wide 18-inch tyres, but lots of little spikes in there as well. Over 200 studs, in fact, to be absolutely specific, 228 2mm studs that help to bite into the ice, bite into the snowy ground, and gain as much grip as possible. Let's go through the overall order then of how things stand going into stage 3. It's been a superb morning for Simon Wagner, who leads the way from double winner Michael Lengauer by 10.4 seconds at the moment. Hermann Neubar, former winner as well, sits in third, 21.6 of the lead. And I have to say, one of the stories of the rally so far is the Rally 3 Renault Clio of Martin Rossgatterer, who still, after two stages, sits in fourth position, 36 seconds off the overall lead. Now, you're talking around 100 horsepower deficit with the Rally 3 car. It does have four-wheel drive, but giving away a lot of power and torque to the Rally 2s. But, of course, with all of them on those little skinny tyres, that, of course, the advantage that the Rally 2s normally have on a more consistent surface is taken away. So, but you have to really drive one of those Rally 3s hard to get that kind of stage time out of it. So a superb job so far from Martin Rossgatterer. Then rounding out the top five, Robert Jurgensen, 40.2 seconds off the lead. But that all went away in the first stage, Hollie, and you've been able to gain a bit more information on why Robert lost all that time.
I have indeed. There was a bit of speculation after SS1. We'd heard reports that Romet and Sim were both under the bonnet at the stop line of the first stage today. We were all a bit worried that it spelled engine issues for the car and it could be a really upsetting story for their first rally of the season. I am glad to report, however, it's not as dramatic as we first thought. It was a turbo issue rather than the engine, and all came due to a pipe that connected the intercooler becoming loose during the first stage. So effectively, they did the first stage without turbo, and it was an easy fix at the end of the first stage. They managed to click that pipe back into place and get right back to it on the second stage. They put in an incredible time, even with having a spin in stage 2, and they're now sitting in the top 5 position heading into the next couple of stages. So can't be sniffed at. It's not all over for Romet Jurgensen yet.
No, far from it. He's such an impressive talent. I mean, actually relatively inexperienced, less than 50 rallies to his name, and yet one of the most promising talents in the sport. Malcolm Wilson at M Sport certainly knows how to pick drivers, that is for sure. And he's here at the behest of M Sport to take that newly updated 2026 Ford Fiesta Rally 2 to a great result. Well, stage 3 is underway. We've already got former winner Johannes Kepperbach and Ilka Miner into the stage right now. We'll get a confirmation of their time when they get to the end. But this is the second pass already of Mulviertel Pierbach. So the drivers have already been through this stage, with Simon Wagner winning the stage early on with an average speed of 75.4 kilometers an hour, just 0.4 of a second ahead of Michael Lenger. Hermann Neubauer was 10.5 off the pace earlier on this morning, with Martin Roskatterer in that Rally 3 Renault Clio just 20.3, and Christian Zellhofer in the Suzuki Swift ZMX in the top 5 as well. So definitely pace to be had later down the order, but it'll be interesting to see now how the stage has actually evolved, of course, with the whole field having already been through this piece of road. Could be quite different.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It also looks to me like the track is thawing. Like I can see a lot more of the tarmac coming through. You see less snow on the roads themselves. So I think it's clearing up even for the first drivers. So I expect faster pace all around.
It should be. Hello to you all if you're watching on the YouTube stream. The first time ever we've had an English language stream here on the Jännerrallye, and I'm seeing a lot of love for Richard Burns Rally and the Rally Sim fans community.
You've started something here, Peter.
I have, but the thing I like though as well, maybe next year we can have John Armstrong Rally Simulator. Now that is starting something.
As always, keep your comments coming in on the chat. We're really enjoying hearing what you have to say, whether it's about the rally or about RBR. Let us know where you're watching from, who you are supporting today. We're also keeping our eye on the Twitch stream. Kuru, what are your fans saying so far today?
Oh, they're really excited for the snow rally. They know that it takes a lot of very precise driving and control over your car to keep it going at a fast pace. And it's one of the favorite rally type, and I get it. As a local Austrian, I do enjoy to see that as well myself. Feels like home, obviously, and it's just great to see that motorsport, especially rally, is still going strong here.
Right now, of course, we're watching Martin Laszlo come around the most iconic part of the Pierbach stage. If you search Jännerrallye on YouTube, chances are the majority of the footage you will see are from those few corners that he has just passed through. And you can see the amount of spectators that are there as well. Guaranteed they will have been there from very, very early this morning. It seems like this is the stage to go to if you want a proper party atmosphere on a Saturday morning.
And some beautiful blue skies as well. A little bit different condition than what we saw earlier on. Quite a bit of the snow cover from this morning has cleared away. I'm really curious to see what the comparison is in stage time, particularly for these early runners as well, who had a little bit of overnight snow to clear away. Now there's parts of the stage now which the tarmac is really showing through. So maybe by the time we get to this afternoon, if this weather continues, are we in a scenario where do the tackies come off and do maybe the winter tyres come on? The more wider 18-inch winter tyres, do they go on to the Rally 2 cars, or do they have to go tackies all the way through? It's worth remembering there's an 18 tyre limit for the entire event, but you can only use 12 of one particular type of tyre. So if it is going to be the tacky, the snow tyres, the narrow studded tyre all the way through, you've only got 12 of them to use. So that's something that will be very closely watched as well. I mean, in service, did we see many new tyres going on, or are they having to manage it with what they had already this morning, do we think?
The majority of what I was seeing and hearing from out in the service park was swapping front to backs. There's not been too much in the way of tyre wear on the stages, and I think a lot of teams at this stage will just be sort of working with as few tyres as they can in these early stages. But it's worth remembering the tacky tyres seem to be effective if there's roughly 30% snow coverage on the stage. And I would argue, even watching what we're seeing right now from Martin Laszlo, there is far less there this morning than what there was on the first pass. So I reckon we might be seeing some different tyre choices in the afternoon.
Oh, I love it. I love it. This is what, I mean, I always have been a huge fan of the Monte Carlo rally purely because it's always such I mean, it can be a complete lottery on tyres. And I think, was it Simon Wagner who mentioned to you, Hollie, that he says sometimes tyre choice on the Jännerrallye can be a little bit of like going to a casino.
Yeah, absolutely. The words he used were a total lottery. And I think if that's coming from a local driver, a highly experienced, very highly decorated Austrian, then it speaks volumes of just how challenging this rally is to predict.
So right now we've got Martin Laszlo through the stage, second on the road. We've also got into the stage 3 cars on the stage already. Albert von Thurn and Taxis with his co-driver Jara Hein, both making their Jännerrallye debut. Big support out there on the stage. You see some Hungarian fans there as well, of course, not too far to the Hungarian border. Of course, there'll be lots of Czech fans here as well. This is really rally country, this part of the world. You know, some amazing rallies in Austria, but I always think when I go to, particularly to the Czech Republic, there's such a love for the sport and some amazing events with real heritage behind them. Of course, next year we'll celebrate the 40th edition of the Jännerrallye, and some of the stories that these stages could tell. I mean, the Pierback, the stage we're on right now, does have a real heritage to think about. You know, well over 20 years they've been using this same piece of road, and that continuity of always bringing the fans out as well there.
Peter, you mentioned Albert, who is in the stage at the minute. I managed to catch up with him a little bit in the service park, and it's really interesting to get the perspective of someone that's taking on the event for the first time. And he had a huge smile on his face, as he always tends to do when he's near a rally car. But what he said was that the rally is totally new to him. You need to be far more precise with the car than he's ever had to be before. Obviously, the car will be a bit slower to react than normal with it being on the snow and ice, and it's not the conditions to be correcting yourself at the last minute. So he's finding it quite a challenge on this first ever Jännerrallye experience for him, to really give the car what it needs with enough notice that he's going to get the results back. And I suppose for the drivers that have done it before, Martin Laszlo, who we are watching, and of course the Austrian drivers, they will know a little bit more about how you need to treat the car to get the results that you're looking for. For these drivers that are out there for the first time, it's a huge learning experience, but for Albert, he seems to be enjoying himself. This is the stage that he thought from today's would be his favourite, so we'll see how he performs on his second pass of it.
He's one of the great characters of rallying. We absolutely love it when he comes to compete in the European Rally Championship, and yeah, he's a very special guy. Absolutely loves the sport, and has for many years run with the Baumschlager team, which I would think coming to the Jännerrallye for the first time, leaning on the team and asking how the car is to be set up is going to be vitally important. Well, the first stage time has come in. Johannes Kepperbrock, former winner, of course, of this event in his Toyota GR Yaris Rally 2. It's an 11-minute 16 for Johannes Kepperbrock. Let's have a look and see what this morning for Johannes, where he was first on the road. He was running a little bit further down the order after, of course, having to clear that snow away. It was a 12:25 this morning on the first pass. So 11 minutes 16. That would suggest, Kuru, that this road is totally different to what Johannes experienced. Yes.
Much better. Yeah, as I thought, just, seeing the sun come out and the tarmac come through, can tell the track got a lot faster and probably easier to drive too. So they're feeling confident to push it some more, and they're doing it.
Yeah, this is going to be fascinating to follow, and also how it as the as the snow clears away, how much then do the studded snow tires, how much do they get worn away? And of course, they can survive. Apparently, they're very, very resistant. But of course, Holly, as that snow clears away, the premium of looking after the tires is important. Of course, one of the longest little mini loops of the day as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It was something that I mentioned to Sergio Itu when I went and spoke to him at service was I don't know if I naively thought that the tackies might be a little stronger than your more regular tyre. I wasn't expecting to see tyre damage so early on in the event, but for him and Mads, they were saying, do you know what, hopefully that's our bad luck out of the way now. First stage of the first rally of the year, and we can just get down to business from here on in. But it just goes to show you can't really predict anything at all. Both Mads and Sergio were unsure what it was that caused their tyre damage, whether it was a rock or perhaps one of these sticks that you're seeing at the side of the road to mark the stage. Something did it, but we hope for them that it is their bad luck now out of the way for the rest of the rally.
Well, they certainly bounced back very, very well in the second stage, up much more to the sharp end of the times. Beautiful shots here of the huge amount of fans. Now, the number of fans at the side of the road has definitely increased, I think, Kuru, from this morning. But they're clearly the not so early rising fans. I definitely in that camp. I would have been taking another couple of hours in bed and then coming for the second. I'm not hardcore enough.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you are. Like I prefer to sleep, and I get up with the sun when it's out like this. Then you can count me in. Then I'll be on the on the side of the track watching the cars race. But a little bit of sun and a little bit of sleep beforehand, never a bad idea.
It must be said, we've been able to see some great fan footage on social media in the time that we've been away throughout service, and I don't think even the onboard shots give justice to just how many fans are at some of these spectator areas. When you see footage of the cars going past from fans within those areas, you see that they're rows and rows deep. There are so many people out excited to get rallying underway for 2026. It's fantastic to see, and also fantastic to see the amount of support that's going on in the YouTube chat comments at the moment. We've got people watching from all over, from Finland, from Estonia, from Vienna itself, and someone very rightly so saying that Pierbach is the Turini of the Jännerrallye, and I think that's fair to say both in legend of the stage itself and what it demands from the driver. It's been a really exciting one to get the rally underway.
Yeah, great call from the organisers to put it in right at the beginning, get everyone excited early on. That's a great call, very much Turini. It's lots of little hairpins as well. Martin Laszlo has come through the stage, second quickest, 12 seconds dropped to Johannes Kepperbach. So Johannes making a huge improvement on the first pass. Of course, he had to open the road on the fresh snow yesterday, at the first pass, excuse me. So for Martin Laszlo, he still made a big improvement on his time, 27 seconds quicker than this morning. So the stage is definitely way faster than what it was on the first pass, which was, what are we talking, 3 hours ago? It's not a lot of time, Kuru, but there's a huge change in the way that the stage is behaving.
Yeah, I wonder if now the starting order is going to bite them in the butt, because if the track gets faster and faster, at some point maybe the tackies are not going to be the right tire of choice anymore, and they're going to have to deal with that.
That's a very good point. Yeah, a very good point indeed. And this is what I have to say. I love, because we are sitting in a comfortable commentary booth, we can enjoy the jeopardy. The drivers, I'm sure, hate the jeopardy. I'm sure they love to have a nice even rally. But that's what's so exciting, is when you get a rally where there is a mixture of tyre choice. In some stages there's an advantage, some stages there isn't. But we'll see what the crews decide. But for this stage and the next two stages, they're stuck with what they've got, which is the tackies. Mads Osberg and Sergio Itu now prepared, ready to go in their Citroen C3 Rally 2. run by the local Baumschlager team. Mads or even got time for a little drink there as well before getting going.
I caught up with Mads just before he headed out of service, and I asked, how is his Jännerrallye experience? Oh, we've got a little word from Albert.
You have snow, you have a little bit of everything. It's really exciting.
How do you manage staying cool during these conditions?
This is the most difficult part. I have to just enjoy and not look at the times and learn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. How
He's one of my
special that we're able to hear
guys.
from the drivers. Now, I spoke to Mads just before he headed out after service, and I said, how is your first Jännerrallye experience so far? Does it live up to what you expected? And his reply was simple. He said, Hollie, I had no expectations. I think when you come to a rally for the first time, especially of this calibre, you've got to really just come, take it as it goes, and it seems that they're still really enjoying themselves. Not the easiest start to the rally for them, but they're having good fun, and that's what matters.
It does, yeah. Albert is just always got a smile on his face, always happy, and yeah, he competes all over the world. Mads now tightening the belts up, ready to go. Comes up from Sergiu Itu, super experienced co-driver, many times Romanian champion alongside Simone Tempestini, where they used to do the gravel rounds in a Skoda Rally 2 and do the tarmac rounds in a beautiful Hill Porsche RGT machine.
Having a nice little chat in there before the stage gets underway. I can see from our YouTube chat that we have some support for Serge coming from Romania. We've got some people watching from Belgium, from Scotland, from Croatia. Let us know in the chat section where you are watching from, who you are supporting today. It's a pleasure to have you along watching this stage 3, of the Jännerrallye 2026.
Waiting for their start time, ready to get going. Mads will engage the stage mode launch control. Serge ready with the pace note book.
In the service area, they talked to us about that they did get the puncture early on, so they are not going to get another one for the rest of the event. And I do think that's the right way to think about it. Apparently, they were hitting one of the posts while they were drifting, which split some of their back bumper and the left rear fender. That also led to the puncture.
I like the sunning. Yeah, very great. It's a wonderful day and on snow. I think we have the best what we need for this rally. Yeah.
How do you manage staying on the track?
The what?
How do you manage staying on the track?
How we manage this? Yeah, very easy to not too fast and to find every corner, and we try the best. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's Philip Kreisel there, fastest through so far in the number 12 Toyota GR Yaris Rally 2. 11 minutes 5 seconds, 7 seconds quicker than Albert von Thurn und Cactus. Johannes Kepperkoff in third with time just 10.3 off the quickest, and Martin Lasbro fourth quickest, 22.6 seconds. As already Mads Osberg into the stage, and either I'm imagining things or the road is evolving car by car, because it seems like there's more and more tarmac starting to appear every time we ride on board, Hollie.
Absolutely. I think Kuru hit the nail on the head with what he said just a couple of minutes ago. It really seems as though it's going to get to the point that maybe Taki's was not the right choice, because we're seeing far more tarmac than what we saw this morning, and certainly even what we saw with the first car through on the second pass. It really is changing quickly, and you can imagine the heat that's coming off these cars and the tyres as well will make such a difference, let alone the sun in the sky.
Half 5 right, 40, split 4 left.
Those spiked tyres as well, yeah, are going to be cleaning the road up. Although they're narrow, there's a lot of power going through the Rally 2, around 300 horsepower. Rally 3 car is about 80 horsepower less or so, 220-ish horsepower, depending on the model that you choose. Rally 4 car around a similar amount, maybe a tiny little bit less, but front wheel drive for a Rally 4 car. But Mads in the Rally 2, the C3 He's won the WRC2 title in the past in that very car, but he's driven it all over the world. He did in the ERC the last couple of years.
3 left minus half long.
32 reading out the pace notes in English. Let's listen in the Serge.
30, slow short 4 left minus 20. 1 right plus, tightens, narrow, slippy. 20. 2 left, tightens, short, don't. Into short 5 right. 50. Cut short. 5 left opens. 40 tightens, slow short. 50 twist. Slippy 1 left, tightens. 20.
So let's get back down to the stage end and hear from the number 8 Ford Fiesta, Martin Fischerlehner.
What is the hardest part of the track?
At this stage, heavy ice and there's no braking.
How do you get the car back under the control after sliding?
What?
How do you get the car back to under control after sliding?
On the throttle, always the best.
Thank you.
A great answer. Get the throttle back on.
I like that approach.
Yeah.
The one thing I respect the most about professional rally drivers is keeping it under control, because I usually tend to go a little bit too fast, and obviously in rally that means game over. So just having that perfect control of, going as fast as possible, but not too fast. That's where the sweet spot is. That's what I respect the most.
2 left plus, slippy.
They are a different breed altogether. Interesting comment there that there's a lot of ice base underneath. So yes, although the snow is clearing, there's still the ice base, which you would think then, Hollie, that would then, does that then mean do you go the tackies, or do you then go for the winter tyre, which does have studs on it, just not as many, but a much wider
Short right over, crest.
Yeah, that stage end comment there did get me nodding quite slowly as I listened. It does make sense. Obviously, we're seeing the pictures here. It looks like the tarmac is showing through, but there could be plenty ice on top of that, black ice even, and so we just need to take it from the drivers what they have to say about it. It's still slidey out there, and I think Mads has just demonstrated it with that corner. The conditions will be forever changing from one to the next, and it's just about managing that as best as you can. I spoke to Mads about how he's approaching this rally, and he says that's one of the key difficulties is the amount of different conditions that they've had to experience already. They did the recce on Wednesday when it was pretty much dry and clear. They were recceing a tarmac road. Between then and Thursday, we had a pretty decent snow dump, which means that a lot of people actually went out to re-recce a couple of the stages after they had done the qualifying. And now we've had a bit of snow, but it's already starting to clear up. So I think no matter how many times, if you could recce the stages an unlimited amount, you would still never get the same stage when you went to compete.
Well, that's of course why guys like Michael Lengar have been so successful here over the years. Of course, living locally will know the roads and know what they do in certain weather conditions so well. Well, it was still a good stage time though for Martin Fischerlehner, who we just heard from down at the stage end. 5 seconds off the pace, but second quickest so far. So it shouldn't be too long before we get our next driver down to the stage end, and indeed we have the number 11 of Kevin Ray, third quickest in 11 minute 11 seconds. Let's hear from him.
Yes, now it was very slippery, so it will be very funny and we have a good stage.
Are you happy with the choice of your tires?
Yes, it's okay.
Thank you.
Love the shades.
I was just about to say, can we have a moment for the shades? You've got to respect it. See, when you see the drivers out in these more winter rallies and they know exactly what they want in a pair of glasses to help them pick out either what they need to see from the road or to get the right sort of sun protection. Those were some good shades.
You often see where, particularly in Rally Sweden, them using those yellow tinted glasses to try and define the road a little bit better. anything you can to help in these conditions, especially as well. Of course, winter time, sun still stays pretty low as well, and it looks like it's going to be a nice sunny afternoon here in Upper Austria. Absolutely beautiful way to kick off the year. Rally season underway on the first weekend in January, and of course a few weeks away from the start of the WRC season at Monte Carlo. That first stage at night is always just, you know then that everything is back and level with the world when when Monte Carlo Rally gets back going again. But the rally season always starts here, and there's been so many stars who have come to compete in this rally over the years. We saw Adrian Formal win the rally a couple of years ago, Chris Ingram taking part a couple of years ago as well, of course. But look at the drivers that have won it in the past. There's a lot of Austrian drivers, as you can imagine, but triple ARC champion Kaito Kajtanovic, Robert Kubica in 2014, Jan Kopecki won it on 2 occasions. So a lot of the real stars of the sport have won here, and they will keep flocking to Upper Austria every January for years to come. I've no doubt about that.
I feel as though Jännerrallye is a real feather in the cap for a lot of drivers. Obviously part of the Austrian Championship, but it pulls so many international crews from across the world. Whether it is to get a bit of experience on snow and ice, which is becoming more and more rare in rallies across the world, or as a warm-up rally for what is to come for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
when I chatted
it's a little bit better than the first stage. We got a good rhythm from the beginning, and yeah, we hope we can continue so.
Will you change something on the car to the next?
The windscreen.
Oh, well.
Yeah, we hit something in the first stage, and the windscreen was broken. Was not so good for the second stage, but now it's much better.
And all the best.
Thank you.
A few words there from Michael Lengauer confirming that it was something that they hit on the first stage that damaged their windscreen this morning. We saw out in the service park the crew doing a very quick job at getting the new windscreen put in, and it seems like he's happy with it. A good setup there. But as we can see, Romit Jurgensen and Sim Oya just heading off on stage 3. As I was mentioning before we heard from Michael, I was chatting to them at the service, and they made a joke that this rally is a test both for Monte and for Sweden, all wrapped up into one. So many reasons that people will come to take on the Jännerrallye, and that seems to be theirs.
On the right hand side, let's listen in to Sim Oya calling the notes for Romit Jurgensen. Romit Jurgensen looking like he's much more up to pace now with that engine working nicely. Of course, a new upgrade package from M Sport for the Fiesta Rally 2 for this year. Upgraded engine, which should give much better performance in the low down rev range, but also suspension changes, really making the front end a lot more consistent as well. And that development, I'm sure, will continue throughout the year, as Romit Jurgensen had some great results in the car last year, along with his teammate John Armstrong. It really was the dominant car of the last 2 rounds of the European Rally Championship. Michael Lengauer fastest through so far by 18.5 seconds, and quite a bit faster than his time this morning in the first pass. So it was 10.59 early on, 10.47. Let's hear from Mads Osberg on his first Jännerrallye.
You had a few struggles at the beginning. So what do you take from now to the next race?
We try to come back. We still try to enjoy, of course, it's the main ambition, but yeah, we had a puncture on this stage in the morning and lost more than half a minute, but now we're enjoying, so no issues in there now, so we just try to drive.
I just heard you had the best time on this stage. What do you say about that?
Yeah, we feel good, we enjoy the driving, and everything is working well, so yeah, we will just carry on. Thank you.
Then good luck.
Thank you.
Mads Osberg always got a smile at the stage ends. He's a great character, and that's a fantastic stage time. He's fastest through by 4.6 seconds, and Kuru for Mads, first time here, faster than the winner of the last 2 years in local, Michael Lenger. That's a great start to his fight back from the puncture earlier on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's exactly the kind of change of pace he wants to get. Getting unlucky on the first run, and now he redeemed himself. But yeah, I think it's gonna get faster and faster at this point. You can really see also starting the dirt coming through from the side of the roads. So yeah, we might get into the transitional phase where there might be, dirt on the track, which will take away some of the grip again. So who knows how this is going to develop. I'm still not sure if the last starting position is going to be the best to be having, but we will see based on the times if they can deal with it or not. But it's looking beautiful so far. Really enjoying the scenery here. Sun's coming out, and I could imagine that you might actually need some sunglasses if you get the snow starting to reflect into your eyes. Might slow you down.
Definitely. Well, we've already got a clear front runner for the coolest sunglasses. Normally, Albert von Thun Taxis has some pretty cool sunglasses, which he'll normally crack out when the weather gets nice and sunny. Rally leader Simon Wagner is, great start to the rally. 2 stage wins out of 2, taking his Jännerrallye tally to 18 stage wins. But we have to make the point, Hollie, don't we? 4 second places in a row for 5-time Austrian champion Simon Wagner. He's won everything there is to win in Austrian rally except this event, and he's kicked it off in the best possible way in those first few stages.
He has. He's got something to prove on this event, I think. But even with saying that, you see him around the service park this morning. He's cool, calm, collected. He is such a talented driver, and I think you speak to any Austrian and they will say how proud they are of having a driver like Simon Wagner flying the flag for them. He knows what he's doing, he knows what he's capable of, and he really enjoys himself. Let's hear from Herman at the stage end.
You're currently second. How do you feel about that?
I think I'm third, but still I'm too slow. I think now at the moment my setting is a bit too soft, and I don't find the right balance, but it's okay. I try to enjoy, and hopefully I will speed up a bit over the day.
So you expected better?
We will see.
And all the best for the next race.
Still big smiles though from Herman Neubauer. Interesting comment about the car being soft. Now, I remember chatting earlier last year to Evan Brynildsen, who won the Norwegian Championship in that Toyota, and he spoke to a couple of other drivers using the car who had really struggled with it to get a feeling early on. But the base factory setting of that car that was kind of, you see in WRC2, drivers like Oliver Solberg had the car very, very soft. And because that was kind of what suited Oliver Solberg's driving style, and of course had to great effect winning the WRC2 championship. But for other drivers, it seemed to work better for it to be much stiffer. So that's an interesting comment there from Herman Neubauer. Also, with less snow, you probably want the car to be a little bit stiffer as well to get a little bit better feel from things. I guess that's going to be a constant chase, a constant adjustment for the drivers. But second fastest for Michael Lenger, fastest through so far for Mads Osberg. Herman Neubauer, third fastest. 14 seconds dropped to Osberg there. So Osberg getting closer to the podium positions, really fighting back. But Hollie, I'm really curious to see what Romet Jurgensen can do on this stage. He's had one run through with a non-working turbo. Could we see really what Romet and the new Fiesta are capable here?
Oh, absolutely. I think you can see just watching the onboard right now just how much more intuitive he is with his driving. Something's clicked in him. He knows that the car is now working for him. He's able to really give it his all. And I think it speaks volumes for what Romit is capable of as a driver, that he's had the first 2 stages of the rally with a separate issue in each and still sitting 5th overall. He had the turbo issue with the first stage, a spin on the second, but he only lost 5 seconds with that spin. He really is out there giving it his all, and let's hope that that's his bad luck through for the rally as well, and we get to see him really, really enjoy these stages.
Beautiful moment.
Oh, maybe enjoying it a little bit too much on that corner. Wow.
Oh, Hollie, you've had your first dose of the commentator's curse there.
Maybe I'll just keep my mouth shut for a little while, eh?
No.
Sorry,
I don't
Romit.
believe in the curse. Well, we'll leave that one. Let's have a chat to Jaroslav Koltun.
The track is already a bit cleared up. How was it?
Quite tough.
Are you happy with the car?
With the car, yes.
And how were the conditions?
Now the snow, let's say, looks like went off, yes, on many places, yes. So sun shining and such kind of ruts from tarmac existing.
Got any plans for the next for the next races?
Next race, yes. Next race will be Monte Carlo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, is that an exclusive? Jaroslav Koltun going to Monte Carlo, of course. The team that run the car, Orstack, they're going to be running Eric Camely in WRC2 this year. So,
Very
there we are,
nice.
breaking news at the stage end there with Jaroslav Koltun. Hopefully Romit Jurgensen's got away with that. Hopefully we'll get a view on the stop line camera if there's any damage to the left-hand side of his Fiesta Rally 2. But tricky conditions with the grip just really seeming to evolve, and it's going to be so different to what they experienced this morning, and really an evolving thing with the sun out, the direct sunlight on the stage, and it's different corner by corner as well. You've got to be so adaptable out there. It's a great stage time from Jaroslav Koltun, 11 seconds off Mads Osberg's time, and he's 3rd quickest, quicker than Hermann Neuber, quicker than Philip Freisel. Jaroslav Koltun is having a superb event so far.
I was going to say, a man of few words at the stop line there, but something's working for him inside that car. He had an excellent time on qualifying, and now he's out there really enjoying himself and putting in some excellent times. Watch out Monte Carlo, I say.
Yeah, Jaroslav is, he does a lot of rallying. He's a very, very successful businessman, and his big hobby is to go out and compete all over the world. And there's you see him popping up all over the place, and really getting a lot of seat time in that Skoda Fabia RS Rally 2. So Mads Osberg at the moment, but we wait with bated breath for the not only for Romit Jurgensen but also for Simon Wagner, the rally leader, to see where he fits in with things. Like the Lengauer just sitting 10 seconds off the lead going into this stage, but he may well have dropped some time. Let's see if there's any damage on the front left of Romit Jurgensen's machine. Yeah, a little bit of a smashed windscreen. Let's hear from the young Estonian.
You had the 3rd best time. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, so many issues in this rally. I don't know, I can't get it together. First I had a half spin, then had a really good stage, but in one corner it was just so slippery that I hit this post, and I don't know, something in the left rear is also. But let's hope it's just tire.
But due to this, you did really good.
Yeah, but last 3 kilometers again really slow because left rear is something happening.
And what are the plans for the next stage?
Let's see.
Thank you.
Yeah, a little bit frustrated there, Romit Jurgensen, a little complaining of something on the rear left. Is the tyre? Yeah, it looks like the tyre's just coming off the rim there, but it has stayed on. So a little bit of time dropped away in those last few kilometers.
What a difficult start to the rally for Romet. He looked disgruntled, and rightly so. You would be. That's not how you want your rally to start. He's coming here as a newbie, but with so much to learn, and little things like this can often get in the way of that learning.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, he's going to be going to Monte Carlo in a couple of weeks' time. Of course, will not be using the type of tyre that he's on at the moment, but may well do later on in the rally, albeit a different brand, but similar style of tyre. So it's still Mads Osberg who sits quickest on this second pass of Pierback as well. We've got stage 4 coming up very soon. It's straight into stage 4. It's a very busy itinerary here on the first day of the Jännerrallye for 2026, and we'll have coverage of nearly all of the stages throughout the day. Big hello as well to 2025 European Junior Rally champion Kalle Kalberg, who's tuned in at home watching along. He was quite pleased that there was an English language stream, although I'd imagine, Hollie, his German's getting pretty good driving for Opel.
You would assume so. Kalle and I have had a few conversations about my somewhat lacking and his growing German language. So, hey, you could maybe switch between the two streams. Go over to the German, see what you can pick up, come back here for some expert commentary from you and I and Kuru.
Maybe from you guys. Yeah, maybe from you guys. Simon Wagner through the stage then. What is the stage time? We wait. Was second quickest for Simon Wagner, but crucially faster than Michael Lenger. He extends his lead. Let's hear from the rally leader.
So, second best time. You're the leader. What do you do different to the last times?
Difficult. I stalled the engine at the start of the stage, so we lost a lot of time there. But yeah, otherwise the feeling is quite okay.
Are you happy with the choice of the car?
Yeah, I mean it's difficult because second pass is completely different to the first one, and the guys are cutting like crazy, so a lot of tire or puncture risk. So yeah, just safely through.
What do you take from this stage for the next?
Next stages will be interesting for sure. A bit different than this one, but yeah, we keep pushing.
Then all the best.
So calm is Simon Wagner, and yeah, with a stall at the start of the stage, he was only 1.1 seconds off the fastest time through there was Simon Wagner, but you would think that maybe that would have been a third stage win there, Kuru, without that stall.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was on a really fast pace there, but he still made it up. And he mentioned that his competitors are taking a lot of cuts, so there's some debris, some dirt extra on the track that he had to deal with. That's what I meant earlier by it might not be the best spot anymore to start and last, but he handled it, and if he's not stalling again, I think he can keep that lead and probably extend on it too.
Yeah, well, he extends his lead at that stage by 2.4 seconds over Michael Lenger. So you're overall now, Simon Wagner leads by 13.9 seconds from Michael Lenger. Then in third place it's Hermann Neubauer, who's 33.9 off the lead, 20 seconds exactly off second place. And Mads Osberg fights his way all the way back up. He's now into fourth place, 42 seconds off the lead, but recovering from that time lost from the puncture early on. Romet Jørgensen in fifth, 48.2 seconds off the fastest time, but again, more time lost there with what we think is a tyre off the rim at the end of that stage. Jaroslav Koltun up to sixth overall, a great run from him, 53.7 seconds through there. And Martin Fischleiner sits in seventh, Philip Kreisel in eighth, Albert von Turnon-Taxis in ninth, and Kevin Wraith rounds out the top 10 at the moment. And we've still got stage 4 coming up, Hollie. Still got plenty more action.
We do indeed. We are heading back to Windhag, which was previously stage 2, now becomes stage 4. So another stage that our drivers have had their eyes on this morning. And I think the thing that we're all going to be looking out for is how that stage has changed since this morning. It looks as though there has been quite a lot of change in the first stage of the loop. So we'll see if the same can be said for Windhag. It almost makes you think that the drivers that are here using this rally as a bit of Monty prep will be be quite happy about that. If they're able to get the tackies off for the afternoon and use the tyres and a setup that will be more likely to be used in Monte, surely that's a good thing for them.
Yeah, very true. Very, very true. And if the temperature continues to rise and sunlight continues on the stage, yes, it might well do that. And yeah, for Robert Jurgensen, who will be going there, Yaroslav Koltun as well, they will definitely be wanting to try and get that data underneath them. Keeping an eye on the stage times though for the stage 3 for Pierback, because we need to see where our giant killer Martin Rossgatterer comes through in his Renault Clio Rally 3, because he's had set some great stage times so far during the day. He came out of stage 2 in 4th position overall. He's been right up there at the sharp end, so we'll see where he comes through. Maybe with a little bit less snow, it might be a little bit more a disadvantage to the Rally 2s, and he has come through 8th quickest there, Martin Rossgatterer, 24.7 seconds off the fastest time. But Kuru, that's still amazing considering how much of a horsepower disadvantage he's got. Yes, he's got the 4-wheel drive, but it's nowhere near as an advanced a machine as those €300,000 Rally 2 cars.
Oh yeah, very, very impressive showing on how to use the machinery just right to get a time like this. Because if you've ever done a rally yourself in a video game or a race of any kind, if you're in a different car class, usually you have no business competing anywhere in that time range. So I'm very impressed about that.
Very true. Yeah, it's very, very true. Hello to you all. Great to see so many tuning in here. We've got coverage of stage 4 coming up very, very soon. Loads of tuning in. David McKinley tuning in from Western Australia. We're truly worldwide here as well. Michael Staunton from Ireland. Marcus Rebane from Estonia. We've got fans from Poland as well. Hollie, this is what this English language stream is all about, opening up the Jännerrallye to the world.
Absolutely. We are pulling in people from all across the world. And as we mentioned this morning, it is so nice that people are now able to engage with the stream a little bit more than what they might have been able to in the past. I think it really was the organisers' hope for introducing English commentary. When we've had the likes of Chris Ingram compete in this rally, they saw people from the UK join into the streams to see how he was doing, but very quickly remove themselves because they weren't able to understand the commentary and engage with the rally so much. So coming at it instead, we've got a full English commentary this year, and it's nice to see how much it's being enjoyed by people all across the world, and hopefully that means that for Jännerrallyes to come there will remain an English commentary. But for now, we're going to just have a short break between now and stage 5. We will remain on this same stream, so you don't need to go anywhere. We're just going to go off for a quick little break, and we will have a countdown come on the screen to let you know when we will be back for another new stage of the rally. So don't go anywhere, and we will see you very shortly.
Welcome back to the English language stream for the 39th edition of the Jännerrallye. We hope you've been enjoying the coverage so far this morning. And if you're just joining us, you've arrived in just the nick of time. We have a battle going on at the moment over the first three stages of this year's 2026 Jännerrallye, with Simon Wagner leading the way in his Hyundai i20N Rally 2 by 13.9 seconds from former double winner, the last 2 years in fact, Michael Lenger in his Skoda Fabia RS Rally 2. Hermann Neuber, former winner of this event as well, he sits in third in his Toyota GR Yaris Rally 2, 33.9 seconds off the lead. And Mads Osberg on his Jännerrallye debut, fighting back from a left rear puncture on stage 1. But after winning stage 3, he's now within 42 seconds of the lead. Can the Norwegian veteran fight his way all the way back up into contention? That is the story we're going to follow over the next few stages. Robert Jurgensen, the young Estonian, 48.2 seconds off the lead. It's been an eventful morning so far for Romit, with a turbo pipe problem in stage 1 and pushing a tyre off the rim in stage 3. But he's in the mix, 48.2 off the lead at the moment and sitting in 5th overall. My name is Peter McRae, delighted to be part of the broadcast team for this Jännerrallye English language stream for the very first time, and alongside Hollie McRae. Hollie, what do you think so far of all this Jännerrallye caper?
This Jännerrallye has been fantastic so far. It is, of course, my first time in the commentary booth, my first time doing anything of the sort at a rally, so it's been a huge learning experience for me, and I can't think of a much better rally to get things underway. This rally has thrown everything at us so far in just a couple of stages, and it's been an incredible experience to be bringing rally to the followers in a different sort of way. We are, of course, streaming live on my YouTube channel, so I'm keeping an eye on the chat comments as they're coming in. So far this morning, we've had people watching from Canada, America, Australia, Poland, Belgium, Latvia, you name it. We have spectators watching from all across the world, and it means so much. So thank you for joining us. If you are just tuning in now, let us know where you are following from. Let us know who you are supporting. But of course, it isn't just YouTube that we are streaming on. I am sat next to Kuru, who is streaming also on his Twitch. Tell us how your followers are finding the morning.
Well, yeah, they're definitely happily surprised about a different type of content this time around. I think it's the first time for a lot of them to see the rally, and definitely the first time to see the Austrian rally, the Jännerrallye this year of 2026. And I think that it couldn't have gone any better. I mean, for me, obviously, it's not too much far away from Vienna here, so I had a fairly easy travel to the event, but it has been amazing. It's great to see all the drivers, the cars, and the event unfold live here in person, and can't wait to see the rest of the races.
Well, stage 4 is coming up, which is the second pass of Windhag. We saw it earlier on running as the second stage of the rally. It was Simon Wagner who was quickest by 3.9 seconds from Robert Jurgensen. Mads Osberg was third quickest, 6.6 off the time set by Wagner. Michael Lenger was fourth, 10 seconds off, and Hermann Neuber 11.1 seconds off, fifth quickest on the first pass. But Hollie, as we saw with the second pass of Pierbach, even in just a couple of hours, the road has changed completely, with the snow going off and the sun coming out.
Yeah, it's all changing very quickly here in Upper Austria. From what we can see from the onboard footage that we're watching from the cameras at the side of the stage, it very much looked as though the second pass of Pierbach really changed a lot to what we first saw it this morning, just around 8 o'clock. It looked as though there was a lot more tarmac coming through. We were questioning if perhaps the road choice and tyre decisions might change going into the afternoon. But then we heard from some of the drivers at the end of that stage who said, no, it is still very slippy out there. So although we are seeing a lot more brown on the stage, perhaps it is ice rather than tarmac that they're driving on.
Yeah, and I guess that's where those little spikes in the tyres will make a big, big difference here. Not quite as blue skies, actually, it must be said. It's quite a spread out route. You get some rallies like Rally Estonia, for example, is a very compact route with lots of stages in a very small geographical area. Jännerrallye is a little different. The stages are reasonably spread out, I would say. And in this part of the area, a lot more cloud cover. So is the evolution of the stage not going to be quite as much as we saw out at the Pierback? I mean, the Pierback, of course, is the really popular stage for spectators, and it's good that they've been blessed with some nice sunshine as well. So it's Johannes Kefferbock, winner of the 2018 Jännerrallye, who is into the stage now with Ilka Miner alongside on her 350th rally. Amazing. With 30 years of co-driving experience right in there alongside Johannes Kefferbock, who is equally experienced. He's won in the WRC Masters category in the past on Rally Sardinia, which is another brutally difficult event. So, last time out we saw average speeds 82.5 kilometers per hour, 7 minutes 36.5. That is the time that was set by Simon Wagner. We'll see how much of an improvement, if there's an improvement, here on this pass of the Windhag. And Kuru, it's clear that the grip is still, even on this old, very slow corners, very, very difficult to gain traction.
Oh yeah, one thing I was considering now that the sun basically has disappeared under the clouds, that you might fall into a situation where the just melted snow freezes up freshly again, and it's now a lot more icy than it was just a bit earlier. So they're gonna have to deal with that, and I think I can tell that it's a little bit slower pace-wise. I wouldn't be surprised if the average speed has come down a bit.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, because earlier on we did a little dusting of snow on the Pierback anyway, so we shall see. The tyres, they have a 2mm stud. By regulation, they cannot be any longer than that. They can go into the tyre. The actual spike itself can be 15mm long, but protruding outside of the tyre surface, only 2mm. So they do get a little bit of bite, but only 2mm for them. It's very closely checked by the scrutineers, because of course it's about the biggest advantage you can get is having a tyre that can get that little bit of extra grip. But they can have no more than 12 spikes per decimeter, which is every 10 centimetres squared. So that gives you an idea how many spikes there are around the tyre. 228 on these narrow 15-inch diameter wheels, and they still provide really, really good grip in these very, very tricky conditions. We've also got Martin Laszlo into the stage, which is who we're riding with right now, with Victor Ban reading out the pace notes, and Albert von Thurn and Taxis and his co-driver Jara Hein into the stage as well on their Jännerrallye debut.
You've really got to take your hat off to these people that are seeing the stage so early on for the first time. Johannes Kefferbock, obviously the first eyes on the stage for us this morning, and we saw the difference in his time from the first and second pass of Pierback this morning. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to replicate that time advantage on this pass, but yeah, they're doing a superb job out there. You don't really know what to expect. They recce'd these routes predominantly when it was dry tarmac, and now they're looking at something very, very different. So it'll be interesting to see how they cope on this second pass of Windhag.
And Kuru, for you growing up in Austria, is this typical for when you're learning to drive in Austria and you're driving around from place to place? Are these typical conditions of what, and do you get used to it, is my question?
I think for the safety of most learner's permits, I think it's a bad idea not to drive there, especially not these speeds. But growing up, actually more towards the city side, you know, it's not too common really that you have to deal with these kinds of conditions. And I mean, if you live on the land side, yeah, you absolutely have to. You're gonna have to get used to it. And during the winter, especially, it does look like this very, very often. So you're gonna have to deal with it eventually, even if you grew up in a city.
We don't get it as much in Scotland unless you live right up in the in the mountains, and even then there's no guarantee. Johannes Kepperbach then has come through. He has completed the stage 4 of this 2026 Jännerrallye with an 8 minutes dead, 0.8 seconds. So 8 minutes flat then for Johannes Kepperbach. And earlier on in the first pass, of course, when he was opening the road, Johannes Kepperbach, he was an 8:29.6. So that gives a real impression as to how much the road is changing from this morning. So fairly similar, Hollie, improvement to what we saw in the Pierback from Johannes, as the first car on the road really has the biggest disadvantage to claw back really from opening the road earlier, but still a big improvement in the stage.
He's made a lot of time back on his own time from the first pass, but as we did see in the last stage, the drivers that follow him will be also gaining time. They were quicker on the first pass. Let's see what they can do on this second one. But I think from his point of view, he's going out there and discovering the road for the first time. I know that the likes of Mads Osberg, he asked me to send him the link for this stream so that I think they can even have a look at what's to come in the stages as they go before they face them. And Johannes doesn't have that advantage. He's not able to have any look at what's happening in the stage. So hats off to him. I think he deserves a round of applause.
Definitely. Yeah, if you're in a loose surface event, being at the front of the road often isn't very good, as Martin Laszlo completes the stage then for the second pass of the day at Windhag, the Interbetten Windhag stage. Furiously refreshing, trying to see what the time is. The instant live timing, very, very good. Rallybase.com, rally-base.com. You click on the homepage there, you'll see it, Jännerrallye 2026. You can go on there. It's very, very tight. Martin Laszlo just 1.1 seconds off of the pace of Johannes Kepperbach, so dropped a little bit of time, but stays ahead of Johannes on the overall by 35.7 seconds there.
And again, a huge improvement on his time from the first pass. He's made up a decent chunk in that stage there. And I think, do you know what, that's actually quite surprised me. I would have expected that all of the talk that we've been doing about the tacky tyres and how they perform very well when there is 30% snow coverage or more, I would have assumed that perhaps the times would have been a little more similar on the second pass. Obviously, the drivers have the advantage of having driven the stage once more, but we've been speaking about that sort of turning point where the tacky tyres might not longer be the right choice. But it seems that for now, they're still absolutely doing their job. They're working, the driver's previous knowledge of the stage is working, and it'll be interesting to see the top speeds that come out in just a couple cars' time.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. Of course, they've got one more stage in this loop. The LKW Friends on the Road Lasberg one stage, just under 9 kilometres there, which is the shortest of this loop. Then they go back to the Freistadt Messhalle to the service part. 45 minutes of service, so chance to get some good work done there before heading out towards another couple of stages later on this afternoon. So, of course, Michael Lengar, he's got to get a new windscreen for his Skoda Fabia RS Rally 2 after hitting one of the snow poles earlier on. So that's something we've seen several times here at the Jännerrallye, where it is you can clip those snow poles, and they're pretty heavy on the windscreen. I would want to know, Kuru, though, what a windscreen for a Rally 2 car costs. I bet it's more than your average road car.
I have not managed to break any of my windshields yet, so I don't really have a reference point, but I would imagine that they're not made out of anything special, so I think they might get away with some default windshields. But yeah, I don't know. $1,000, $1,500 possibly. I don't really know. The good thing is they don't have to pay for service. They can do that themselves.
Yeah, if you know what a windscreen for a Fabia RS Rally 2 costs, do let us know. Because I remember at the Poland Rally a couple of years ago in ERC, there was a side-by-side super special, and the gravel was actually flying across over the barrier and then cracking the windscreen off the other car on the other side. So yeah, it's not unprecedented for that to happen during a rally. Albert von Turn taxes through then. Good time for him. Fastest through so far by 9.1 seconds there. This morning was an 8-minute 10.6. 7:51 this time there. So he's found 19 seconds of time, which I guess, Hollie, will be a combination of the surface, but also, as you rightly mentioned, the experience of the stage too.
Of course, especially for someone like Albert who's taking on this rally for the first time. He's in for a huge amount of learning over the course of the weekend. And I think because of that, his approach to this rally has been a very measured one. He's not going out there doing any heroics. He's not expecting big things. He mentioned to me that he wasn't going to be checking the timings, although the three of us in commentary are doubting if a rally driver can hold off that long before they do check. But it seems to be working for him. He's enjoying being in the car. Both him and Yara were very smiley when I saw them at service. And it must just be a great feeling to get back to rallying after the winter break as well. And from their point of view, they're here on an evidence gathering mission. They're heading to Monte Carlo, and so they'll be looking to get as much experience on the snow and ice to figure out how the car responds in different conditions.
That's good to hear that they're going to be at Monte Carlo always, and I think it's a bucket list event for any rally driver, to us, for any rally fan to go to Monte Carlo, but likewise here at the Jännerrallye. So the next driver through will be Philip Kreisel and his co-driver Daniel Feusner. Going into this stage, they're in the top 10, 9th overall, 1 minute and 15.6 seconds off the lead of Simon Wagner, just only a couple of seconds behind the Martin Fischerlehner in the number 8 Ford Fiesta Rally 2. Back with our onboard coverage, just the onboard cameras we have for this stage, but some of the other stages we have plenty of cameras out there around on the stage side as well. Lots of smiling and chat between Mads and Sergio as well.
He's doing a warm-up there. He's doing some fancy hand movements, that's for sure. We've not got any volume from them just yet, but it's normally at this point that they will be sort of looking over the notes, any sort of notes that they've made from the first pass of the stage, if anything will have changed. It looks like they're having a bit of a laugh and a giggle as well while they're doing it, and it's great to see them come together and take on a rally for a bit of fun. Now, of course, Serge and Mads have sat next to each other on a couple of events in the past, never full seasons together, but they've done their fair amount of rallying. I do believe, however, the last rally they did together was in Qatar, so very, very different conditions to what we've got here this weekend.
Yeah, just a bit, and it shows you Sergio's versatility as well, to be able to read pace notes in different languages, which he can do in Romanian, English, etc. And also for Mads to be able to listen to them as well. Mads has had quite a few different co-drivers over the last year or so for various reasons. So it's his adaptability too that he can go through that. I do like though that he has the 1 is a very sharp corner and 6 is basically flat out corner pace note system. I find it so weird to listen to a pace note system where a 6 or a 7 is the sharp and the 1 is the flat out corner. I definitely have the Mads Osberg pace note system.
Oh, see, that's where we disagree, Pete.
Oh,
I can't wrap my head
really?
around 6 fastest.
It was 165.
See, there you go. It's totally personal. Although I'm getting quite used to the Richard Burns pace note system with the I think it's fast left, K right, 90 left, easy left. I think I forget. Oh, and a hairpin. Yes. But it's the K left is the one that's meant to be like the shape of a K, but it's I'm still getting used to that one.
The more descriptive approach. That's what we went for on my one and only rally attempt, was descriptive notes, because John uses 6 fastest. In my head, 1 fastest makes sense, and so we opted to go for descriptive instead and keep the numbers purely to relate to the distances. But no, it's amazing how different people can sort of see a road and read it, and I suppose for the likes of Mads and Sergio who work with different people, you've got to really find what works for that specific pairing.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I always think that Juha Kankinen was his were incredibly basic, you know, easy, medium, and fast, more or less. And he, on sharp right as well, he would have a Finnish co-driver, but English pace notes as well, because he'd had Nicky Grist co-driving for him before. So thumbs up, ready to go then for Mads Osberg and Sergio Itu. Lots of smiles in the car. I'm loving this from Mads and Sergio. And when they get into the stage, we'll take a listen to those pace notes and see if you like them. Listen along, follow the lines, and see if you prefer the 6 being fastest or the 6 being the sharpest corner. Sergio checking the time card to make sure they're ready to go at the exact right point. No penalties. Mads with tens of thousands of kilometres of competitive experience underneath his belt, been in this position tens and hundreds of thousands of times before. Taking another last quick drink before getting going. Time card will be marked, and then they'll be into the rally, into this stage.
I do always think when you're sat looking at an onboard waiting for the stage to start, I feel the nerves starting to bubble within myself. You can only just imagine how they're feeling sat in the car. But I suppose people like Mads and Sergio, they've done this plenty of times. It must just be a walk in the park to them. But I'm getting excited here waiting.
I bet the heart rate's just starting to rise, I'm sure. There's Mads reaching over, presumably to start his onboard camera, so we can review the footage later on. Of course, this stage here is the second pass of Vindhag. So earlier on, Mads was third quickest through the stage, just 6.6 off Simon Wagner. See what he's got up his sleeve this time. 10.47 kilometres the distance, a stage that's pretty familiar to the regular crews here. Ready to engage gear. Let's listen to him off the line.
70, short left plus, go straight, 104, short right 40, slow small crest 30, short 3 right minus, don't, into narrow, short 1 left plus, opens, 90, 5 right, 40, 1 left around bail, 50, flat left long, grip has left the chat.
Apologies there for the language of that came across right, there, but Matt's busy at the office at the moment, but very, very little grip there, Hollie.
Yeah, it's looking quite tricky start to the stage, right, lots 40, of hairpins, and of course very icy 30, under the tyres as well. Right a real challenge to get them started as they wind their way out of the village. It's clear listening to Sergio's pace notes that they're using the 6 fastest system, so Pete, they're on your team.
5
yeah,
right,
I'm team
40
Sergio,
turn, square right, opens,
team Mads.
3 half long narrows, into flat 6 left, and then switch map, 100, short left 120, small crest 40 care, 5 left small cut, 80, line short 5 left minus, mix 70 clean, 6 right half long, tightens short 50, keep left over long crest 60, slow short 4 right,
very interesting
narrow
there
square
is
left
Sergio
gravel,
suggesting or noting on the pace notes to change the engine map of the car, so a different engine characteristic right, for Mads. What I'd love to know, Hollie, is he turning the power up or down, or is it an engine braking thing? Or this is maybe we can quiz him about that at the service part. Say, were you changing that? Which way were you going? What, you want more power or less power?
Yeah, pace notes are a whole language of their own and vary so much from car to car. It would be so interesting to sit down with a co-driver before or after a rally and get them to explain in detail what every one of their little notes means, but I will get that put down in my phone and I will go and do some research over the service.
Yeah, which engine map were they switching to? But that's, I guess that's the detail that someone of Mads' experience goes to, and also he knows this car. I mean, so probably better than anybody on the planet, certainly on a loose surface. I don't think anyone knows this car better than Mads does, and everything, all its characteristics and what it does over the limit. As he's looking out the side windows, the car's slipping and sliding around. Still no panic whatsoever from Serge, continuing to read out the note.
Line into short, 5 left, keep in, 30, short right.
The interesting thing about the pace notes, once you get into video game territory, you do have it both ways as well. Either one is a super easy corner or like a super hard corner. And all of the additional specifics every co-driver is using is also very interesting to listen to.
Now you can hear the dulcet tones of Ursula Gassner sitting alongside Hermann Neubauer in his Toyota GR Yaris Rally 2, sitting third in the rally at the moment, 21.6 seconds off the lead after stage 2, and then after stage 3 sitting 33.9 seconds off the lead. A little bit of time drop for Hermann on the previous stage, 13.4 drop to Mads Osberg, and around 12 seconds drop to our leader Simon Wagner. So it's tricky out there at the moment. Still Albert von Thurn Tactis here fastest through this stage by 0.6 of a second from Philip Kreisel. Kevin Wraith in third place so far, 8.4 seconds of the quickest. Johannes Kepperbach, fourth fastest through so far. Martin Laszlo, fifth fastest through so far. Not such a good stage though, and it sounds like there's been a problem for car number 8 for Martin Fischerlehner, who has dropped 3.5 minutes there, Hollie. So what a pity for Martin, who's sitting in 8th place, but that will cost him a huge number of positions.
Absolutely, there's definitely a story to tell there, and we will do what we can to find that out at service. Obviously this stage we're not hearing from the drivers when they reach the end. Some of them we are, and Hermann Neubauer, who we are on board with at the minute, he didn't sound the happiest when he got to the end of stage 3 just before this one. He wasn't feeling too settled in the car, didn't look too comfortable. But it's important to note he is in the Toyota Yaris that he's driven for the majority of last season, but he did get into that car just after the Jännerrallye last year. So for him, perhaps this is the first time that he's really getting a feel of what this car can do on these sorts of surfaces in these conditions. And perhaps as the rally goes on, we will see his confidence increase and the times get better as well.
So fastest through so far, not so much of a surprise to see the number 4 double winner Michael Lengauer, fastest through so far by a huge amount, 17.7 seconds. Michael Lengauer then putting down the marker that the rest are going to have to chase in the upcoming kilometres. Last time around, Michael Lengauer on Windhag was a 7:46.5, 7:34 flat this time, so finding 12 seconds from his first pass time. Now he will know this stage incredibly well, so not too much of an improvement in terms of the stage knowledge. So you would think that would indicate that there is still good improvement, despite the fact that there's not as much direct sunlight here as we saw in the Pierbach stage just a few moments ago. So it seems as well, Kuru, that there's not as many tarmac places on this stage. It's more the snowy sections go on for longer, if you like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think for this stage the tires are just perfect. They're going to be able to grip where they need to. But you know, if it ever opens up again, they're going to be careful, because what I noticed earlier is the moment it cleans up, they tend to go fast, and then they really have to catch themselves before they go into the corners. But even now, so you can see the sun coming out again, so it might not be relevant for this particular stage, but maybe on the next one we're going to see some open roads again.
Maybe, yeah, that's the thing with them being a little bit spread out. It's always difficult to figure out. I mean, Mads Osberg gave us a great look from his onboard camera of just how difficult it is on the downhill to get the car slowed down, even at slow speed. Just no grip at all, even with the little studs on the tyres. So it's yeah, this is what the Jännerrallye is all about, is knowing that grip level and being able to anticipate. And it can be completely different corner to corner. Now the crews do have ice crews, like you would see in the World Rally Championship, where they will send a crew out in a car, in a road car, out ahead of the stage, maybe an hour or two before the stage actually runs. There's designated times that they can go through, and then they will relate that information back to the co-driver and the driver, and they will add any notes in. And that's one of the key things in this type of rallying, is the ice crew. They're sometimes called route note crew or a gravel crew or what have you, and the idea is to give as much information, as relevant information as possible, that can help the co-driver tell the driver what's coming up. So if there's a corner that's particularly slippy or what have you, or there's more grip than they expected, they'll try and add that in to the notes as best as they can. But it always amazes me, Hollie, how quick they process that information and then manage to plug it into the notes before they get to the stage. And of course they've got all the road sections to negotiate while all that's going on.
It's a hugely commendable job, and as you can see from the onboard footage we're watching right now, this stage has had plenty of cars pass over it between when the ice crews would have first driven on it this morning at maybe 4 or 5 o'clock, and you can just imagine taking on this sort of stage in a road car with probably regular winter tyres as opposed to anything else. It is such an epic job that they are doing to get as much information as possible to their driver and co-driver, and as you say, then going away and processing it and making sure that all of the correct information is put into the notes at the correct place. I don't think we quite give enough credit to how important that job is. If you were to send 2 drivers out, one without an ice note crew and one with, I feel like the results that you would see come the end of the stage would be incredible.
Very true. Yeah, very, very true. Well, Mads Osberg takes 13 seconds off his time from the first pass and goes quickest through by 3.3 seconds. So Mads Osberg and Sergio Itu are on the fight back from that puncture. They lost a lot of time in the first stage earlier on, but they're on the fight back and now 24.8 seconds behind Michael Lengauer and trying to run down, trying to get back up onto the podium positions and maybe even run down the rally lead. They were 4th place going into this stage. They've got a good chance of getting up onto the podium. On the left of your picture, we have Robert Jürgensen, the Estonian, who I think when it all clicks together, Hollie, I mean, given how unfamiliar Jännerrallye is to him, I think by the end of this rally we're going to see him winning stages.
Oh, absolutely. I'd be very surprised if we didn't, just by his performance in the first couple of stages. It looked like something had taken him by surprise there on the onboard a little, but yeah, when he's able to sort of lock in on a stage, he can do incredible things. And when we're looking at the results as they stand at the minute, he's had 3 stages which he's encountered 3 issues in, and he's still remaining in 5th position, and I think that just goes to show what he's capable of when things are working in his favour.
Very true, yeah, totally agree. Full opposite locks, lock stop to lock stop, back and forward, trying to point the Fiesta through the narrow lanes here. Great shots from our onboard cameras. You see, and then of course has to then take one hand off, pulling the handbrake, trying to manipulate that, and then back using, of course, sequential gear shift, 5-speed gearboxes in these Rally 2 cars. You got to be pretty. You see, they're never gentle with it. They got to push it straight through. Be positive with the car. Tell the car who's boss. And then dance it on its tiptoes out of the corners there. Beautiful driving from Robert Jürgensen.
It is incredible when you watch how these cars move on the snow and ice. We spoke about it a little this morning on our first stream, but for those of you that have joined us since, a lot of the cars on this rally, although it is a tarmac snow and ice rally, will be running on a gravel setup, and it's something totally unique to this event, something that a lot of drivers will be contending with for the first time, and that is purely to allow better weight transfer, better grip of the cars. It allows the dampers and the suspension to have a bit more travel in them, and should allow the car to move a bit more fluidly on the snow and ice to avoid any big moments. And I think when you can see the onboard how the car is sliding, you can sort of see that suspension working, and it's something really unique. It's something I've never seen before on any of the events that I've worked on. And even Mads Osberg, doing his 301st rally today, is experiencing it for the first time too. So a truly unique part of the Jännerrallye.
It is wonderful. It is wonderful. But third quickest through at the moment then for Hermann Neubauer. 5.1 seconds of the quickest time set by Mads Osberg. So it's Osberg from Lengauer from Neubauer at the moment are your three fastest cars through the stage as we wait for Robert Jürgensen to come through next of all. Of course, well, Jaroslav Koltun, then Robert Jürgensen, then it will be Simon Wagner coming through. Great shots here, side by side. Wagner on the left hand side, Jürgensen on the right. We'll be coming towards the end of the stage very, very soon. It's been a great run so far from Jaroslav Koltun, who will be at the stop control very, very shortly in the number 7 Skoda Fabia RS Rally 2. Some little narrow sections here, Kuru. Really tricky to thread the car through in between the bales and all the various other furniture at the side of the road.
Yeah, I was thinking if there's one spot where you don't want to lose control of your car, it's right next to some buildings. And it does get very narrow there, right? They still have to thread the needle through there, go as fast as possible, but it does get quite exciting. It doesn't even make it justice in comparison to actually sitting in one of those cars. I can tell you from at least a second driver perspective that it gets very, very exciting in there.
I'm loving just the comparison right now of the side-by-side onboards. We've got Wagner, who's going through a very residential area, meanwhile Romet is storming along the side of a forest. It just shows the variety that we've got in this one stage here. Windhag is the most northern stage of the rally. Right now the drivers are up near the Czech border, and on this stage, which is just a matter of 10 kilometres, they're experiencing so much difference in their roads and what is surrounding them as they're driving.
Jürgensen coming through now, dancing the car back and forth, mixed surface, every corner different. Must be a very difficult rally to be an ice no crew on, to try and filter out the information. You couldn't possibly fill every corner by corner, but you're almost going to look for the real problem spots and let the driver work out the rest. Jürgensen having to just tweak the handbrake to get the rear of the car to steer around.
Good spectators there on that corner waving them on.
I think it does give an extra edge. I think so. I think the drivers react to it. They love the encouragement. Lots of fans out there to enjoy the event.
See, this section that Romet is on just now is looking very tarmac heavy. There's very little snow on what he's just passed over, and then you turn around a corner and immediately you've got that snow back. Such a challenge for the drivers.
Must be mentally exhausting to have to judge that all the time, to know when you've got the grip, when you don't, and what kind of grip you have. Now, you see the yellow boards there for Robert Jürgensen, so heading towards the end of the stage. There are the red boards. Come on, Traction. Traction left the chat there, that's for sure. Through he goes now. No time yet for Jaroslav Koltun. That doesn't necessarily mean he's had a problem, but not through the stage yet, so keep an eye on the times as well. But at the moment it's Mads Osberg fastest through the stage by 3.3 Michael Lenger in second, and Hermann Neubauer in third through this stage at the moment. The rally leader Simon Wagner will be next to come to the flying finish, or as we say, the scrabbling finish, I think, on this stage, trying to get out of that final corner.
Was flying
next
there.
on the road.
Yeah, I think I underestimated the power of the sun. I think we are actually already seeing quite an improvement to the track during the stage and not just the next one.
Big commitment from Simon Wagner. This looks like a very neat and tidy but quick run at the moment. Still no times coming through from this stage, so there may just be a little bit of a delay at the times coming through from the stop control. As soon as we know, we will let you know. The rally leader right now, Simon Wagner, looking good. Came into this stage with a lead of 13.9 seconds over Michael Lenger. 2 stages wins out of 3 so far. His Jännerrallye campaign kicking off well. He has amazingly finished this rally first on the road in a Mazda 323 GTR in 2018, but we had to retire with a gearbox failure on the road section back to service. I mean, absolute agony for him there. He's and then been finished second the last 4 years. Wagner desperately trying to add a Jännerrallye victory to his CV.
That must be truly heartbreaking for any driver when they put in so much to a rally, perform so well, and then it all crumbles on the last road section. And perhaps for Simon, it gives him that extra need to go on to win this rally one more time to make up for what happened back then.
Yeah, he's a very talented driver. I mean, he had superb success in the Czech Championship last year. Switched away from the Skoda, which many people were surprised by. He's been a Skoda driver for several seasons and switched to the Hyundai i20N Rally 2, and he loves the car. Really has gelled with it nicely. Coming up to the final corner now, trying to get the car stopped. How does he get a pretty good traction actually there for Wagner? So the team have got a good setup dialed into the car. If I had a time, I would tell you it, but it looked pretty clean, Hollie. It looked like a good run for Simon there.
Yeah, you've got to assume every part of onboard footage that we've watched there was captivating. He seemed to really be in control, pushing the car and getting what he could out of the stage. So I would be surprised if it wasn't another stage win for him, but we'll just need to wait and see as these times come in. Yeah,
that's it. This is where we get cut off from the times, and it's like cutting off a limb. We always want to know in rally, always want to know how they're getting on. Simon goes out of the stop control. His co-driver Anna Ostlander will have done the time card. So stage 4 in the books. We'll wait with bated breath to see what the time is then, how it compares to Mads Osberg, but most importantly to Michael Lenger, who was second behind Wagner going into that stage. We have coverage of stage 5 coming up very soon at 1:05 local time when that stage gets underway, where we will have the first pass of Lasberg, 8.88 kilometers. Don't go away, we'll be back with action from stage 5 very, very soon.
Sorry.